How's it going, guys and geeks? Welcome to the Geekritique show. My name is Dakota, and today we're going to be doing an in-depth look into the very first trailer for Avengers Endgame. Now, not a lot is actually featured in this trailer that's actually worth breaking down, but we're going to go frame by frame. If there's anything that we think that we should look at, anything that we think could potentially mean something in the larger picture, we will break down, we will tell you what our thoughts are, and show you why we think so. If you haven't already checked out our trailer reaction, we do have a theory at the end of it. We'll break down a little bit about that theory and why we think so, and we're going to be going in depth into that as well near the end of this video. So, spoilers, potentially. Last time we did these for the Avengers Infinity War trailer, there were several points that we were totally right on. So just fair warning, not everything was correct in those trailer breakdowns, but a lot of it was, especially the bigger thematic storyline points. Alright, so let's just get right into it. So we have Iron Man's helmet right here. It's actually quite a sad scene because Tony is actually leaving Pepper Potts, his wife-to-be, his fiancée, a message just in case there's the off chance that he may not be able to tell her everything he needs to tell her in person. So hopefully she will get this message at some point. I'm assuming that's where his mindset is. So you could actually see the Iron Man suit taking not just a retinal scan, but just like a full body scan. I'm guessing it's kind of like a "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope" type of moment, where it's actually capturing a 3D image. So it's almost like a hologram when ever Pepper gets to look at this. So it's interesting that Tony finds his way off Titan. That's the planet that Thanos was from. That's the original planet that was destroyed, that they had that big fight at the end of Infinity War. He got off using the Milano, which is the Guardian's ship. This is where Quill would sit. This is where Gamora would sit. Rocket, Drax, Mantis, Groot. Unfortunately, all of those characters are, with the exception of Rocket, are snapped away.
No. Groot.
Dead. They're in the soul world or soul realm. We get some more shots of Tony. Apparently he hasn't eaten or drank anything in the past 4 days. Great shot of the Milano here, flying through the nebula. Now this is a really interesting shot because notice he has a different shirt on first and foremost. He's wearing a black tank top here. But in the next shot he's wearing a red shirt. I'm guessing Quill has left a bunch of his personal items on the ship because they basically live on the Milano. So notice it's a crimson shirt. And notice his eyes in this shot. He's looking down, not looking at anything in particular, but right here, he looks up. While there's a yellowish orange light appearing on his face. That's significant, I believe. And notice, you could see in these few frames, there's recognition. He actually lifts his head up a little bit, like in disbelief. Now, what could this possibly be? Is it light from a star, a ship? So notice what Tony is potentially looking at. You see this on the bottom here. You see this light. As we go back and forth, you see it's actually pulsing. Some sort of energy is being emitted right in this corner. Something we don't see. I have a feeling this has something to do with Captain Marvel. As we saw in her trailer earlier this week, she can fly in space as well as emit this same basic color range as a form of like light energy. So is this anything to look at? Is this Tony being rescued by Captain Marvel? We don't know. And this again is the outside of the Milano here. Some more shots of that. I think this was a really chilling moment in the trailer. It's kind of interesting that they kept the 10 years bit, because by the time this film has come out, it'll be 11 years. But anyway, it is just kind of chilling to see that like everything's being dusted, even the entirety of the Marvel Studios. So just something to tease the fans with. Okay, so here we are on Titan 2. According to the Russos in a Q&A that they did recently. The planet that Thanos was on was not the same planet necessarily as the Titan that they were on in the first film. Some time has passed, we don't know how much, but he has found another planet that he is calling Titan 2, or that they called Titan 2 in the production of this film. We see his old armor here, almost being used as a scarecrow, or maybe it's just like... actually, if you notice, it's on a cross. Make of that what you will, but yes, his armor is being propped up on a cross. It's also important to note that the Scarecrow is likely an homage to the comics, and was actually also seen at the end of Avengers Infinity War in the corner over here. Okay, so here we see him going through the shrubbery of his farm-like planet on Titan 2. You see his gauntlet. It's all gnarly. It's corroded. You don't see too much glint from any potential Infinity Stones. I don't think that's because the Infinity Stones aren't on the gauntlet. I think that's just literally this is the one way, this is the one angle that you can't see any of those 6 Infinity Stones on the gauntlet. But do take notice that the gauntlet is like half destroyed. If there wasn't any Infinity Stones on it, I don't think Thanos would continue wearing it. Because the whole point of the gauntlet is to encapsulate those stones. So, and to maintain that power. Here we have a picture of the Avengers headquarters somewhere in Westchester. We see a Quinjet over here. We see what looks like this little building right over here. Looks like a little diner, and actually looks like people are parked there eating or whatever. I know other people have noted that the grass and the shrubbery in this image appear to be unkempt. Whoever is in charge of that has either been snapped away or just quit for the sake of, you know, what's life? What's life anymore? Half my family's gone. So the grounds are looking a little shabby. Look at also the roads here. There are literally skid marks on every single road. Looks like people just were peeling out of here left and right, or maybe they were coming in to pillage. And leaving in a hurry with Steve Rogers chasing behind them. It's a funny thing to picture, but it could have happened. I don't know. Also, notice here, this van, this burgundy van, looks a lot, from this distance, I could be wrong, but it looks a lot like Scott Lang's van. And obviously we see that later in the trailer. This could also be that, but the hood looks a little bit long. This looks a little bit squashed. More like his burgundy van. Oh, poor Steve. We got Natasha with her blonde hair. We know she also has, I'm assuming she sports several different hairstyles in this movie. I'm guessing the red hairstyle that we see is potentially part of a time travel storyline, because, you know, she had that red hair in Iron Man 2 as well as the Avengers. So this is an interesting shot of a few things to note here. So Shuri is missing, apparently. We have Bruce Banner looking at several people who just aren't with us anymore. I wonder how much he actually just looks at this stuff. Like every day, maybe, like he just can't believe that all these people are just gone. And I'm wondering if he's trying to piece together what this could potentially mean. Or how they could fix the issue with the people that they have left. I don't know. But yeah, Scott Lang is apparently gone. They don't know that he is still alive, that he survived the snap, because he was stuck in the quantum realm at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Shuri, we never saw get snapped, but it's pretty clear that even the smartest person alive on Earth, when the snap happened, could not make it out. So there was no rhyme or reason to who got snapped, clearly. Unless you were one of the original Avengers. Then you were clearly safe. We got Peter Parker here. He's missing. They don't actually know if any of the people who went to Titan survived or not. For all they know, everyone on Titan could have potentially just died. So, unfortunately, Peter Parker is missing. We have a look at the hangar here in the morning. Looks empty and kind of abandoned, like this is used as more storage than anything, but you see the Quinjet over here. That'll definitely be in use later in the trailer. This is an interesting shot of Thor. I don't know where he's sitting, and I can't tell if it's indoors or outdoors, so I need your help here. This kind of looks like it doesn't belong on the wall here. It doesn't look like it would belong on the inside of a building. But he's dressed in very casual attire, not Asgardian at all. Definitely not what he was wearing at the end of Infinity War. We see he still has that one eye from Infinity War. And if you move the frames back and forth, you actually do see that there's some sort of heat being given off in the foreground that isn't in focus. So it looks like a mug of coffee. He might be sitting in a waiting room and the person at the counter is drinking coffee. Obviously that means nothing, but what is he waiting for? He's clearly waiting for something. I have a feeling he's waiting to see Jane Foster again. I don't know if Natalie Portman is in this film secretly. She hasn't made any mention that she had came back for the film, but I don't see it as a case of like she can never come back because she doesn't like the MCU or anything like that. I think she will come back eventually, and I think this might be it. Okay, here we are on the Milano again, and we see that Nebula is also with Tony. Notice this shot, it's clearly Nebula's hand. She's still wearing that same outfit. Lots of straps on it, you can tell. Blue hands, and she's stroking a shoulder. This doesn't necessarily mean that Nebula and Tony Stark are going to become that acquainted in the Milano on their journey back to wherever they're going, most likely Earth. But that definitely looks like it could be the same sweater or a shirt that Tony was wearing earlier. The crimson one that I mentioned, or the burgundy rather. But this shot has been color graded to remove any trace of red anyway, so it's a very cold picture, as it should be, because it's space. This is very cool. Finally, we get a shot of Clint Barton. You can actually see he's wearing the mask here, and he's in his Ronin attire. First, I thought this was China, but Ronin is a Japanese word, and he appears to be using Japanese weapons, and he appears to be attacking Yakuza. Don't know what's happening here, but we do see that Natasha has found him, has tracked him down, and is probably calling him back into action. This is a wonderful shot. I have no idea what I'm looking at right now because they're in the Quinjet. They're probably flying, I'm assuming. Cap is wearing his outfit from the Winter Soldier. It looks clean. It looks unused. It looks unworn. Maybe a little dirty, but that could also be shadows and reflection. But notice both of them are looking at something that Cap appears to be holding, and it's a compass pointing 35 degrees northeast. So if they're in Westchester, they're flying the Quinjet, just hypothetically, where could they possibly be going? Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine, Nova Scotia, Greenland? Who knows? I'm obviously just speculating here, but we do have Peggy Carter in that. I'm pretty sure that's what he's looking at, and just remembering Peggy. And on the top of that, you do see that it's an old army compass that reads directional compass.
This is gonna work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
So what is going to work? What is their plan? That's obviously something that they're not going to tell us in the very first trailer of the film. Maybe not until we actually see the movie. But I'm very curious. This is their last hope to save everybody. Or else Cap won't know what he's going to do next. It's a very defeatist attitude almost. Like if this doesn't work, I'm all out of ideas. So hopefully it does work, and we know it will. So Avengers, Endgame. Again, I'm not sure why they kept this from us. I really like the way this logo materializes, almost like through a cracked planet. Endgame. And obviously this is something that has been spoken multiple times throughout the MCU at this point. Now, here's the part where I get into a theory that could potentially be a little spoilery, so just full disclosure.
Hi, is anyone home? This is Scott Lang. We met a few years ago.
this an old message?
Hey man, I know you know that.
It's the front door.
That's me. Can you buzz me in?
Okay, so a few things to note here. We do see that Scott Lang has gotten out of the quantum realm. We don't know when he got out of the quantum realm, how he got out of the quantum realm, and basically where he was when he got out of it. All of those questions still remain to be answered, but this is a weird screen because notice on the top right it does say archive. So this is potentially archival footage, or maybe it's just saying this is being set to archive. Now on the bottom you could see the length of the recorded clip. It's kind of interesting that the clip apparently started almost 13 minutes ago. What does that mean? Why would a recording of this nature start 13 minutes ago? But on the bottom, we do see that it's video number 9. This might all just be like in the effects department, they just come up with random like visuals that like will go on screens of this nature. We don't know if that's actually the case, if this is to be accepted as reality, but from what it looks like, this looks like a recording that started 13 minutes ago, and somewhere along the line, we see Scott Lang in the recording. It doesn't, from this screen, look like a live recording, because it is categorized as recording number 9, or video number 9. Anyway, we also see all the foliage strewn about. This place hasn't been raked in a while. Nobody's upkept it. So this makes me assume that that idea of it being recorded footage might not be correct. And now, why would this be recorded footage?
I got really big.
Is this an old message?
Why would Cap ask if this was an old message? Well, because he believes that Scott Lang is dead. Or perhaps he realizes that this denotes a recording that they are now just playing, or now the computer suddenly picked up. But that kind of doesn't make sense with what Natasha says, because she does say that's the front door. So, and also notice the foliage all around doesn't look like anything is kempt. So likely this is the present day, but it is possible. This is just a theory. It is possible that he went back in time and recorded this message for them to see now. We don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of misdirect here. We aren't seeing a lot of actual action in this trailer. In fact, we haven't seen any action pieces at all. But definitely stuff to note. Definitely stuff to look forward to. I'm very curious what your thoughts were coming out of this trailer. Did you like it? Does it whet your appetite for more? Are you like me and you just can't wait the remaining 4 months to watch this movie because I need this now? Again, so many questions. I'm very excited. Do you think that Ant-Man could have potentially traveled back in time? Will there be any sort of time travel in this film, as reports have led us to believe? Please let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give this video a like. It really does help the YouTube algorithm push our video into more suggested screens. So if you like this video and you want other people to see it, please be sure to hit that like button. Thanks guys. Subscribe if you want more videos just like this. You can check out some of our other trailer breakdowns right over here if you're interested. I'm particularly fond of this Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer breakdown. I hope you like it too. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.